Good afternoon, fellow patriots. Please forgive me for not looking in the monitor the whole time, but this is quite long, so I had to write it down. I would like to speak to you today on tyranny and taxation without representation. Two of the main subjects which led our founding fathers into revolt, allowing this nation to be born. Over the past few weeks, we have seen the American people used as pawns by both sides of today's political spectrum to push their political agendas. The Republicans say they have the best interest of the nation in mind. However, when they are offered money for their state, they submit and fall in line with normal Washington business. Later, they can say to their constituents that they fought for them. They did fight against the Democrats, but that the Democrats had more numbers. They get to be reelected, and they get more money for the state. Case in point, Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican, Kentucky. Senator McConnell co-authored the bill that was passed that made no cuts to spending, no change to Obamacare, and raised the debt ceiling with no limits. Everything Obama and the Democrats wanted. Yet what did Mitch receive in return, even though he denies it? Well, Kentucky has a dam project that needed $775 million. This project was approved about 25 years ago, but after Mitch co-authored the bill and helped push it through, Kentucky received $2.9 billion for the same project. Just another example of business as usual in Washington. Obama continues his agenda, which is designed to keep him and his party in power, regardless of what it does to the nation. As soon as the debt ceiling was raised, the U.S. borrowed $400 billion, passing the $17 trillion mark by $328 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, that's almost $500 billion in one day. Our nation has fallen under a mountain of debt that continues to grow daily. With no cuts to government spending, the debt ceiling was raised, and yet we continue to give money to other nations, while many of our own citizens, many of whom are veterans who served and fought for this country, remain homeless. Just yesterday, Saturday, October 19th, 2013, the Obama administration quietly gave $1.6 billion to Pakistan in military and economic aid. Pakistan is another one of those countries that does not value our way of life, nor does it value our people, nor does it respect basic human rights. Is this something that really needed to be done? Or are we just paying another demitude to another Islamic Muslim nation? During the so-called government shutdown, veterans were denied access to memorials which were erected in their honor, memorials that cost more to close them than it does to keep them open. Yet during this same time, the Obama administration authorized a rally for illegal immigrants on the National Mall. This rally cost the Park Service thousands of dollars in man-hours in both security and cleanup. Cleanup? Yes. The illegal rally trashed the place. Garbage was strewn everywhere. The actual cost of the rally has not been released. During the rally, several Democratic leaders were arrested for holding up traffic to allow immigrants in and out of the rally. This is something that I am sure they are proud of. During the shutdown, the veterans who attended the march at the memorials were attacked by Democrats and the left media as a small group of Tea Party radicals. The media never did show any photos or videos of the entire group, something they would do if this was a liberal demonstration, because the left doesn't want the American people to actually see how many American patriots showed up to protest at the memorials. In true testament of what Obama thinks of our nation's veterans, there are photos of the White House showing snipers on the roof of the White House aiming at those very veterans while they are protesting peacefully. I did not see any such photos during the illegal immigration rally. Another issue that has received coverage during the shutdown, and he's still doing it, is Obama's push for more gun control. Why does the left continue to try to strip away this right more than any other? Because an armed people can defend against a corrupt government, while unarmed people are subject to the whims of that very same government. If you remember when Obama first ran for president, he stated he wanted a civilian army as well funded and as well trained as the military. Why do you need a civilian army? Who will it be used against? The only people it could possibly be used against is the American people, the American citizens. Now, just this past week, Obama has named a J. Charles Johnson as the new Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security. In the news this past few days, we have learned some interesting facts about Secretary Johnson. First, he approves of the use of drone strikes against American citizens. Second, he is pushing for a civilian army, Obama's civilian army. And of course, this army would fall under the Department of Homeland Security. We've all seen the videos where they have armored vehicles already pre-positioned around the country. This has been an administration ruled by tyranny and not by law. As we know, or as you should know, only the Congress has the authority to write and pass laws. However, when a law does not support what Obama wants, he writes an executive order which is then enforced as if it were law, and the Congress does nothing but sit back and watch. It is also a violation of our laws to force a person to purchase something they do not want from someone whom they do not want to purchase from. But what is Obamacare? You, the American people, are forced to purchase insurance that you do not want with services that you do not need at a cost far more than what you are paying now. What happens if you don't pay? Let's say you can't afford it. Then you are fined. However, the Supreme Court has already stated and ruled that this fine is a tax. Did you have any voice in this tax? No, you didn't. Now with our debt past $17 trillion, what is the plan for bringing the debt down? More taxes? No spending cuts, but more taxes on the backs of the working people. I won't say American people. Because under Obama, more people are receiving public social funds than any other president in our nation's history. So those who are productive to society are the ones who are forced to pay for those who are not, plus pay the nation's debt, all the while having no choice in what the nation is spending on or any choice in their own insurance needs. Basic rights such as the freedom of speech have been limited. In many places, your ability for self-defense with the use of a firearm to protect yourself and your family is non-existent. Questioning authority in some places will have you arrested, such as the parent who recently questioned his school board on Common Core material. That question earned him a night in jail. We've all seen stories where police have totally violated a person's rights. In many cases, the person was beaten or killed. Little actions are being taken against the police. Case in point, the Sheriff's Department that entered a U.S. Marine veteran's home. The Marine was killed over bogus information. Wrong home. Another case where Sheriff's Departments entered a home through a window which they claim was open. Shot the residents' dogs. Held the residents at gunpoint and in the back of their police vehicles, handcuffed. No warrant, no charges, no real probable cause. The residents were sleeping. The police were looking for someone who they thought was in the area, who may have gone in their house because they seen the windows open. But there's no call for the police in there. There's no, need for them to go in like they did. Not long ago in Boston, after the Marathon bombing, police and National Guard went street by street, forcing people from their homes, detaining those people, holding them at gunpoint, searched their homes. All those people were detained and searched without probable cause or warrant, a violation of both their states and the U.S. Constitution. There are also reports that firearms were confiscated during these searches, yet the media has remained silent on this. If you remember, after Hurricane Katrina, National Guard and law enforcement illegally removed people from their homes, searched those homes, firearms were confiscated. 90% of those people did not receive those firearms back. In fact, I can only think of one case where they were returned, and that was a case of a couple of people on a boat who had their firearms in the boat. They had just taken them from their home and was trying to get out of the area. In other locations since the Boston bombing at events, police have randomly stopped, detained, searched people, searched the backpacks, again, all without probable cause or warrant. Yet the sheep in this country continue to make excuses, saying that if it helps keep them safe, then it is somehow okay. I want to tell you a story of another raid by local law enforcement. This took place in Concord, Massachusetts. Residents there were reported to have had firearms that were in violation of a ban against those firearms. The local law enforcement and a guard unit entered Concord to enforce the gun ban. However, they were met with resistance by armed citizens. That, folks, was 1775, a year when citizens took up arms against tyranny, taxes, and the right to defend themselves. We have these exact same issues today, including states and the federal government trying to ban guns and your right to self-defense. Look how many guns New York State has banned. California, New Jersey. Same thing as Concord in 1775, people. If we had the same type of liberal mindset back in 1775 as we do today, with people willingly giving up their guns at gun buyback programs around the nation, leaving only the government and authorities with guns, would we be the United States of America today? People, it's not too late. We can turn this country around, but we can't do it without your support. We don't need keyboard commandos. We need people willing to take action. By action, I mean financial support, so that those who are willing to train, to prepare, to travel, attend meetings, or rallies, such as the rally in Washington, can do so. We also need people to take action who will do those things. This country is well on its way to being a totally socialist, communist country. This is not the country intended by the Founding Fathers. People, it is up to you. Support your patriots, or forever lose your freedoms. I'm going to end this with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Think about it, people. Do you really want this nation to continue on as a socialist nation? It's up to you.